Clicky click. Oh. Oh. Hope everyone's doing alright. Just thought I had a bit of a morning spare before I go out and see the other half of
night. Martian Manhunter, at your service.
But yeah, I hope everyone's doing alright. Kind of stuck in a weird limbo of I got ideas for the channel, but it's trying to implement these ideas and implement them well. Why did it do that weird zoom thing? I don't want it to zoom every 5 seconds, thank you. But it is what it is. Don't get me wrong, probably everyone's at work. Being a Friday, it is what it is. Just do the morning routine, get some bits and pieces done. Get some people on the train. But yeah, so I've said it before in other videos. This isn't an actual job. Don't get me wrong, I would love it to be a job, but I think the day and age of streaming being like an instant job kind of thing have long gone. I do genuinely think that, which is a shame, but it is what it is. All jokes aside, it is what it is. There's not much you can do about it. Let's spin. Oh yeah, wrong button. But yes, I do have a bit of a plan going forward, a very loose plan. The only slight headache I got is actually implementing it fully, because one of the things is actually complete. No, it's redoing the branding, and it can't be done slap hazardly. In all fairness, because branding is the thing that people see first. Hello, Jotun. How you doing? And I don't want to do it wrong, and I can't keep trying to change things. How are you doing, Jotun? You can't keep trying to rebrand or reorganize all the time, because you just lose people. Hello, Tenebrum. Hello. How are we all doing? Am I super quiet? Really? 2 seconds. Let me try something else then. How's that then? Is that better? Somehow it was still linked up to it was linked up to the blue mic, not this little thing here. Which is fair enough. But yeah, okay. Back to lurkage. No worries. You lurk away, good sir. Yeah, you should be all good. Basically, my microphone that I normally use, the boom arm was right at the back, out the way. I thought it linked up to my USB mic, but it should be all good now. Fingers crossed, he said. Famous last words. Knew something? Ooh. Okay, we have enhancements. Random. Anyway, Yes. No, I hope everyone's doing well this evening, or sorry, this morning. Sorry, my brain is just melting right now. Just a lot of stuff going on. Nothing horrendous, just a lot of stuff. Um, and I want to try and sort out what I'm doing on the social media front, because obviously so much stuff keeps happening that it's one of the biggest problems with social media and stuff like that is you have to stay consistent, and I'm struggling to stay consistent because of things that are going on. It's very much a vicious cycle, as you can imagine, and it is a shame. It is a shame. There is no magical bullet for it. I do have some plans for trying to restructure it. I've actually been going through the plans for the last 4 something weeks now. It's just trying to figure out because there could be some very tough decisions going forward. Don't say the game is glitched out. Okay, not fair enough. Tough decisions as in, what do I cut out? That's what I mean by.
Two-thirds of it is mine. Let them try.
Time to play. I feel revived.
Hot girl out. Forward lantern.
I never miss. Time to play.
Hot girl out.
I feel revived. I never miss.
Did it really mute me?
Forward lantern.
Why did it do that? Alright.
Time to play.
Yeah, sorry. So what I'm trying to do with the social media side of the posts is I post on Instagram, which then also post to the relevant Facebook page at the same time. So that's 2. And then I post it on.
Forward lantern.
I feel revived.
Hot girl out.
I never miss. Time to play.
Is that better? Hope. Maybe the battery's not charged. Okay, let's see how that works. I'll keep an eye on it.
I feel
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So, okay. So the issue I got is, I still got a lot of adult things I need to do.
never miss.
They're not going to stop anytime soon. It's a regrettable situation. It's not like it's going to go away anytime soon, and I'm not saying this to be boo-hoo, woe is me, all this and all that. I'm not the first, I'm not the last in this kind of situation.
Forward
But I do know, because I haven't been on Twitch and YouTube as prolific as I once was, say last year, the Discord is all but dead. The social media side is all but dead, and so on and so forth. Let's try that again, but I'll use Superwoman instead of.
Tell him to watch
Try her
the sky.
instead a minute. Yeah, it is a difficult one because I know consistency is a key thing, but I need to be consistent in the stuff I'm working on because it's very much a passion project. And for me
I feel robotic.
personally,
I never miss.
being a wargaming hobbyist,
For Atlantis.
we all fall into this pitfall of whenever we collect stuff. Right, doesn't matter if it's miniatures or figures or artwork or comics or games or movies, whatever. We all get magpie syndrome, don't we? We all get magpie syndrome, and we all go, "Oh, this is cool, this is cool, that's cool, this is cool," and
I feel revived. I never miss.
social media, let alone burnout,
My
doesn't
turn.
like that. Because the problem is you'll keep flip flopping,
For Atlantis.
and you'll never get anything done. So then, mentally and physically, you're just getting burnt out. But it is just a difficult situation because the difficult things I'm having to
My turn.
make a decision on is what do I trim off. That's where the difficult part comes to it, is what do I actually trim off.
Time to play.
Because like 9 times out of 10 Games
I
Workshop
feel
stuff
revived.
for just
I never miss.
interactions on social media and stuff is good. However, for me,
Time to play.
I feel very conflicted of doing that kind of stuff because I don't personally like their business practices. I don't like it. I'm not, I love the
For Atlantis.
I love the worlds they create, or I really enjoy the worlds they create. I enjoy the literature they create, and 9 times out of 10, the miniatures they produce are stunning.
Time to play.
The thing is, I just don't agree with business practices, and is a business after all, it's got to make its money. But it does feel, to me personally, it feels like I'm being a hypocrite by going, I don't like their business practices, but I'm still doing content on them. As I said, on the small fish, I understand that.
For
It
Atlantis.
just makes me kind of scratch my head. Yeah,
I never miss.
that's where I'm having to, that's where my tough decision has to come into it. I enjoy that. I enjoy the Dark Angel lore and stuff like that. I love Great Hyde Studios. I really, really enjoy Great Hyde Studios. But that's why I think I'm doing their little one-shot videos now of going, I'm going to show how I would build Blood Angels using Great Hyde Studios, Space Wolves using Great Hyde Studios, and do it that way. I don't think I can do a big overarching, because I had grand plans for my Dark Angels, and I'm just kind of like, meh. Is that what you know what I mean? So I don't want my enthusiasm of that dying. So I'm going to go on to more of the mini projects when it comes to that. Pardon me. But yeah, 100%. There are some really amazing personalities out there that are doing other franchises, other systems. Because I know Peachy does great things with the game systems he goes into, also a bit more historical game systems and things like that. I'm just having to fine tune what I'm going to do, because I don't want to do scattershot where it is a bit of bolt action, it's a bit of Batman, is a bit of drop fleet, is a bit of this, is a bit of that, because are people actually going to watch it? Because people may want to watch it. I would want this to actually bring... How do I say it? I need to figure it out in my head a minute. So, I would like the time and effort I put in to be noticed, I think is the best way of putting it. Because what I'm saying is the YouTube algorithm is very punishing if you don't stay consistent with the same kind of product. So you could put in the same amount of hours and time and effort into a bolt action video as you would, say, a drop fleet video. But if you keep swapping and changing between, say, the content and maybe a 3D printing video and a discussion video, for example, YouTube won't push those videos to relevant people that you would hope they would. If there's people out there that subscribe to 3D printing kind of channels, you would hope that if I produce a 3D printing video of how to clean your models best, for an example, you would hope it would go to them. But because your channel is such a hodgepodge, for better or for worse, it doesn't reach them, or it struggles to reach them. That's where I think the crux of the issue is coming from, is I'm producing content that is not what I mean. In an ideal world, it would be amazing if this was actually a job. I want this to be an enjoyable space for people to come to actually relax and enjoy themselves and to have a good time. Is a welcoming place and stuff. And that's the thing, whereas I believe a lot of people that are successful with it have their niche. They do have their niche. Alright? Let's just look at, say, Twitch streamers that we all know of in our sphere. Esmeralda, straight off the bat, you go to her for like Bushido and Middle Earth. That's like the main things that draw people in, as in content. Disregarding personality is content. So you want to be an entertainer that entertains for being a good hobby. Yeah, I would say that's probably the best way. And I do personally want to advocate for, I don't want to be hippy dippy, to be blunt, but I want to help support men's mental health. As in, don't be afraid, like signposting it. Don't be afraid to talk to these people, get some help. Don't be afraid if you're having a bad time, talk to these. And be like a signpost, but not cotton woolen about it. Just being like, mate, you know, you don't always have to be grinning and bearing it. You can go and talk to someone, but also not be attention seeking. I think that's the best way of putting it. It's just for genuine help, for genuine sake. Because yes, I have. I've been noting it down. It's just formulating it, if that makes sense. That's my issue, because I do want to come out swinging. I do want this to actually work, because I want to get the logo, the banners, the overlays, everything potentially rebranded, redone to emphasize this. To emphasize this is a safe hobby environment for people. But I need to figure it out. And go from there. Like it's a difficult one, because I'm very much of a mindset of pull off the plug, you know, pull off the band-aid and stuff like that. But then I'm kind of like, what's the first thing I do? To a certain extent. But yeah, it's like, you know, say for example, as I said, Esmeralda, she's great for Bushido and Middle Earth. Mike Moans is really good for D&D and Rumble Slam, for example. Gus the Hutt, for me, it comes to 40k and Necromunda, they sing to me. Brannigan, painting skills, Death Guard as something that comes to me. Alchemist miniatures, being able to use contrast and speed paints to paint up miniatures that look very, very pretty in a good amount of time. Very much appreciated, Jotun. Very much. Jotun streams from time to time. But I'm thinking of more like the YouTube-y kind of side, if that makes sense. But he does stream from time to time. He still does stream from time to time, but not as much. Not as much. Brannigan, not Brannigan, sorry. Studio J. Studio J 7. So his thing is GW kind of box art style. Loves his Eldar, and he's a commission painter. So you get what I mean. Everyone has their kind of thing that I don't like the terminology. Thing that not labels them, but shows them off for what they can be. Whereas me, I think I'm very muddled water. It's like, what do people come to me? Their speciality, yes. Like, all jokes aside, what do people come to me to watch and see and stuff like that? Miniature apothecary. Him and his wife, they're very much. They love Horus Heresy, for example, and Old World, Moonstone, for example, and they're big advocators for well-being. That's one of their big pushes. And, you know, we can go on, and people do have their specialities. And I just need to get back to what my one is. And I think the problem is I don't even know what it is. Because, yeah, the way you get into markets, having a strong focus out the gate, you need to decide that. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the underlying thing. Yeah, the underlying thing that I want is a safe space that people support each other and help each other and so on and so forth. The thing that's got me gripped right now is the Batman game, but also I do enjoy the historical side, bolt action and stuff. But also I do have some people in my local area that are growing interest in Old World. But you see what I mean? Then I'd step in wider and wider away from the core speciality, if that makes sense. But I do enjoy my old words, old dwarves and stunties and things like that. So it's a difficult thing. Yeah, like I would love for the Discord to, pardon me, I'd love for the Discord to be revitalized again by drawing people in, because I think one thing that really caught me in a positive way, but also oh shit kind of way. Yesterday someone joined my Discord and said, "Oh, I'm here for support with Batman news and stuff," and I'm like, "Oh dear God, I would love that, but it's not known for that." Oh, 100%. I think my biggest problem is, oh, 2 secs, I'll be right back in a minute. Sorry about that. Posty posted some stuff off, and the dogs were going ruff, 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 and all this and all that. So I do apologise. I think my biggest problem is some of my local gaming community really do enjoy the tournament scene. And at first, I was very much like, people enjoy what people enjoy. But then it was like, that's all I was hearing. It's like, I've personally had enough of hearing about that. And it just got me very disgruntled, shall we say, like a stereotypical grumpy dwarf. But yeah, I genuinely do want to be a safe space for people to come to enjoy stuff. Yeah, I don't have a Batman problem at the moment. Don't know if you can see that. And Two-Face gang. Yeah, 100%. I want to be. I don't want to be down with tournaments because personally, gonna be blunt, they don't care about my opinion. I don't care the other way. You're allowed to enjoy the stuff the way you enjoy it, but when one is dwarfing the other, is not fair. It's not fair. There you go. Let me tell you a secret. There are tons of people who are middle lining who like narrative, but no one talks about it and makes play for them to talk about it and start pushing narrative events. Gonna be like that's. I think that's the core thing. That is my core thing. That I like. Say for example, Drop Fleet. I'm still tidying away models. It's been so manic, to put it politely. Just having to sort out bits and pieces, sort out the garden. Need to get the boiler fixed. There could be a potential leak in the roof. Getting the toilet fixed because bolts have gone. Did I say the boiler? Yeah, the boiler, hot water ain't working, blah, blah, blah. Things and pieces. I would love to do, record a Drop Fleet campaign of fighting in a sector, fighting in a system, and have a narrative thing with that. You know what I mean? Same with a lot of stuff. That's where my Dark Angels was all about, having different successor chapters. I'm a very narrative player. I can play competitively. I know how to read rules. I know how to understand mechanics. Some people think I can't because I'm dyslexic and stuff like that. I just choose not to. I've been wargaming for over 20 years. You learn a few tricks. But yeah, I'm very much in the narrative base because that's where the fun stays. Like if you keep chasing the meta, for me personally, you never get anywhere. You never fully get satisfied because you're always chasing buying new models, buying new this, buying new that. But yeah, I would like to come out swinging with some branding to show people this is a place that encourages people to. That's fine, Jotun. That's fine. I'm just voicing it out so people can watch this at a later date and go, Mark, you're being a fool. But yeah, it is an interesting one because I want it to be a place that people can come to and go, oh, I've came up with this thematic army. I've came up with this thematic unit. I've came up with this uh, cool concept of a battle board. You know, um,
Dare summon me?
I know there's people in my local area that would love to get into Mordheim, and I'm like, that's amazing, that's great, like kind of thing. I never really got to play it fully. I got to like dabble with it, but I never really get to. I had 1 or 2 games max out of it. But yeah, that's what I want to reward. That's what I want to showcase. But it's half a dozen one, half a dozen the other, isn't it? Uh, yeah, that's what I want to actually do, and I want to get stuff rebranded because yeah, I want that speciality. I want that speciality of people know they can come to me and I'll support creativity. That's my main thing. Let's speed it up. Let it go a bit nuts. But yeah, that's the thing because I do need to start tidying things away. In all fairness, because it's been so manic, I haven't been able to tidy stuff away from Bristol. All all jokes and laughs aside, I haven't.
Time to play.
Because I took stuff up like these dwarves here, but I haven't even put them away yet. But it is what it is. I am trying to get hold of as many different Batman minis as I can, because no one knows what's actually going on with the Batman game. Because it is in a very concerning place right now that not everyone knows what's actually going on. And it is a very alarming place to be in at this moment in time.
Time to play.
But yeah, I'm not down. I'm not saying I'm down with Games Workshop and stuff like that. No, hell no. It's just I think there's so many people already doing it as well. I'm like, well, what makes it different from me? Pardon me. I am kind of somewhat known for Mr. Dwarf Lover. You can appreciate a thing while disliking how it's made. Yeah, I always try to say that to people. You are allowed to enjoy the thing you do, the thing you're playing with, but you can disagree with certain things. But I do know for myself personally, it was making me just really dislike it. You know what I mean? I just couldn't enjoy it at all. Like with the Chaos Dwarves being announced for AOS. I should be ecstatic about it because I love Chaos Dwarves. I've always wanted a Chaos Dwarf force, but I could never afford the metal models or the Forge World models. Never could. Very few people could, all jokes aside. And be like, oh, it's AOS. I personally don't like the new AOS. The game system just doesn't feel that rewarding. It does feel very overfiddled, but that's just my personal opinion about it. You get what I mean? So, in theory, in an ideal world, I should be ecstatic about what was it, Hellsmiths of Hashut? So yeah, I know myself, yeah, I am a fan of the old world, so I could do, pardon me, Chaos Dwarfs for old world, because as I said, there is some there is some genuine hype in my game here for Old World. Yeah, I just think I need to just restructure myself, shall we say? Because yeah, I liked coming up with the theme and the idea behind the Votan. My Votan are very utilitarian. They don't have flashiness to them. They're browns and oranges. They're earthy colours, shall we say, in a mountainous range. Their accent colour is like a blue glow. Blue glow visor with bright orange lenses. But yeah, I do want this to work. And when I was at Roll the Dice Games Expo, I had a lot of positive feedback of when people wanted to buy stuff from me, because it isn't my primary income. For example, for the 3D printing, I don't need to charge an arm and a leg for it. As long as it makes it worth my while to actually sell the parts, the 3D print and stuff like that, I won't charge people an arm and a leg for it. And that seemed to go down really well with people. As I said, it seems to. But that is another thing. But I do think, you know, I need to just plan it out. Because I was thinking of selling off my printed dwarves that I've got so far and redo them or print out base extenders. Because no one I know is playing old fantasy. They're playing old world. And looking at it, if I put these guys on the newer bases, I could use the newer movement trade and I'd have a greater chance of using my you know, base fillers, you know, unit fillers, sorry, not base fillers. But at this moment in time, because I use the movement tray adapter that has the bridges in there, I don't really have that luxury. I can't put them in there. Yeah, I do want to be a place that people come to just have fun and be a safe environment.
My turn.
But I do need to structure myself better. Because I'm getting home from work and I'm absolutely shattered. Because I do work a standard. No, I do work longer days, so I get a Friday off. Which is very good, don't get me wrong. If I have a doctor's appointment or something like that, I usually book it for then the Friday. It gives me that option. But it does mean I work longer days, so I am pooped. I am le pooped. So when I do want to stream, I'm so shattered, I'm basically, what was it, no sympathy or anything like that, I'm not trying to get sympathy, but I got home Wednesday night, and I was falling asleep on the sofa at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, I was genuinely falling asleep. I had to hit the hay, get into bed about half 8, 20 to 9. I was gone. Yeah, it is. And the thing is, the work life is paying bills. So that has to come first. That genuinely does have to come first. but
Time to play.
you know, I do want to do stuff like this more because I love it. I do genuinely enjoy it.
My turn.
Time to play.
But I do have to be realistic with myself. Which no one likes that. No one likes to be realistic, do they? No one likes to be told, you can't do this, you can't do that. Yeah, I'm not trying to be all doom and gloom, I'm just being honest with people. Just trying to be honest.
Time to play.
My turn.
Yeah, I do have plans of trying to get artwork done and stuff like that. Pardon me, because you know, I have been trying to, because I don't have endless money, because it doesn't help that I had, I'm going to be put it politely, I had 3 car bills, 3 big car bills in the span of less than a month. So that completely and utterly rinsed me. 2 of them were unplanned, like they normally are.
Time to play.
And yeah, I don't have the big money that certain, you know, well-established YouTubers have to get artwork done for thumbnails. Oh shit. Alright, I need to heat that up.
Time to play.
Rebend his sword back. Shit.
My turn.
Time to play.
So I have been using, as a placeholder at this moment in time, some AI for the artwork of generic thumbnail, so I still then do the rest of it. But I would like to be able to go and get that artwork actually done. But that then comes into part of the rebranding and restructuring of the site, if that makes sense. Because it all needs to be then consistent. That's the main thing I want, is consistency.
Time to play.
My turn.
Time to play.
Yeah, hopefully that makes sense to people. Yeah, much appreciated. Because what I try to do, I try to make sure to use AI, because I know it's a touchy subject for a lot of people. I try and use it as
My turn.
to help me brainstorm, because I'm not going to lie, my brain can scattershot so much because of a lot of things that have been happening past year or so. Sometimes I do struggle to articulate my thoughts. So what I try to do is, if something comes into my mind, I actually have a like a notepad thing set up,
Time to play.
that if something comes to my mind about a YouTube video that I'd like to do, I go into YouTube video ideas and I dictate it. So I have the mic turned on and I say my thoughts about it, and I say, can you write this out so it's legible? You know what I mean? And a similar thing for what I've been doing with trying to rebrand, because I have all these thoughts, you know what I mean, and I'll dictate it to it and go, please reword this instead of being a gobbledygooch mess, if that makes sense. So I'm not getting the AI to do the I'm getting the AI to assist me like I used to have in primary school. I think it's a note taker, or you know, those kind of people. Because I was half deaf when I was younger. I couldn't quite hear the teacher. So if I was struggling, Mrs. Kendall, bless her, she'd be like, "Oh, Mark, she said this," and I'd be like, "Oh, great," because then you know and then I'll be like, "Oh, so the answer would be this," and then she would note it down. She never gave me the answers or anything like that. She just merely assisted with, "Here's something I missed," gave it to me. I then said it, and she would note it down. And that's the way I try to use it myself. Hopefully that makes sense. Because yeah, 100%. You know, it is Pandora's box. Not going to go there because it will cause arguments. But yeah, it is very much Pandora's box. Once it's open, it's open. You know what I mean? No, it's all good. It's all good. You deal with what you need to deal with. I am just in the process of verbal diarrhea, just voicing it all out, and getting my models back out of the KR case so I can actually put them away. Some of these I just slap chopped back in the day, so I'm going to have to revisit and just, for my own sanity, tidy them up. Because there's a definite difference between the ones that I put more time and effort into ones that I didn't.
Time to play.
My turn.
Super boy!
Time to play.
My turn.
Pardon me, trying not to belch too much.
Time to play.
My turn.
That, I believe, is my case now emptied.
Time to play.
Because I would love to get everything rebranded. Not gonna lie, sooner rather than later. If I'm gonna be truthful and honest with myself, sooner rather than later is a lot better. What I'm gonna do a minute, can, because I can't move my mouse at this moment in time. Just gonna put these
My turn.
back over here.
Time to play.
Because yeah, I enjoy painting drop feed stuff because it's such a different scale. It's just a sad thing. Even though it's created down here, there's very few people that actually play it down here. Well, you know, that's being honest. I'm not sugarcoating it, not trying to belittle it, because I do love the game. I do enjoy the game. It is a lot of fun. A lot of nuances to it, and so on and so forth. A lot of things that can be done with it, so on and so forth. Need to
Time to play.
My turn.
heat up this sword in hot water to unbend it. May even paint that at some point. Print out plinth for it. Paint it out.
Time to play.
Got the files, might as well use it.
My turn.
Let's make some waves. Time to play.
But yeah, Like, I do enjoy my Votan. I should be excited about the new Votan coming out. I haven't even bought the book,
My turn.
let alone any models. Yeah, I personally like it, but I know something's wrong when I have no enthusiasm for it. And I'm like, oh dear God. I had a mini series of me unboxing the Votan back in the day. So it's like, yeah, I really need to hit the hard reset on it and get back to what I enjoy.
Time to fly.
My turn.
Time to fly.
Because I was actually talking to Mrs. G about this when went up to Essex for GriffCon and stuff, and just asking for people's genuine feedback, because I'm always open to feedback and ideas, because we're all human. We can all be blind to basic stuff. In all fairness, we all get regressively we all get stuck in our own head and we can't see the wood for the trees. However you want to phrase it. And for better or for worse, sometimes it does take someone going, "You silly goose, you're missing this." You know, love ya, but you're missing this, you flaming goose, kind of thing. That kind of stuff. And it is useful to have that second pair of eyes to go, why haven't you tried this?
My turn.
Yeah, give myself a little bit more space.
Time to fly.
My turn.
Need to pack these away in a bit. Actually back into display cabinets. Yeah, it's just, as I said, I want, for me personally, I want this to be a good ambassador, good
Time to fly.
mental well-being, no nonsense place to be.
Time to fly.
That's the honest truth of the matter. So,
My turn.
that's all good. Yeah. If you got ideas, by all means, good sir. You got ideas? Please let me know. Um, so see if I can get my brainstormy bit up a minute for you lot.
My turn.
I'd rather discuss some. That's fine. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. That's
My
absolutely fine. Um, like, uh, so some of the initial ideas I had, right, that I then,
My turn.
this is the furthest along the pipeline. This is the furthest along the pipeline of it. Okay. So the vision and identity of it. 6 Plus Save is a hobby hub rooted in wargaming miniatures and community. Um, it's a mixture of the braces and exercise help, but still dissipate my fun. Oh damn! So it's still very much a work in progress. Yeah, 100%. Oh, I need to message the other half to see when she's actually having her lunch. button. Oh, wrong button. My apologies.
Time to flip.
My turn.
Your latest BT build. We don't have BT anymore. Go away. You we. Yeah, fingers crossed when they do work on it, it'll get all good. You know what I mean? Ad-libbing a lot. So the idea is, alright, so this is what I'll read out because I asked it to try and write it so it's legible. Alright? It's a blend of gaming, painting and storytelling with a strong narrative voice and a Cornish identity. Because some people do know me as the Cornish Fruit Loop. That's part of the thing I wanted to go for as well, is
Time to flip.
I do enjoy and love being Cornish. So trying to put that in there. Not every single stream needs to have a pasty in it, or scrumpy in it, or white rose, or mining, blah 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 blah. Alright, all those stereotypes. Not saying that at all, but something in there.
My turn.
So it's a grow a trusted and creative space where people can come to for honest discussions, battle reports, battles,
Time to flip.
and love for the hobby in all its forms. Now there were this is then focusing on potentially the YouTube side in collaboration with Twitch or streaming, so videos in collaboration with streaming. Core pillars. So you'd have the battlefield pillar, which is in battle reports, demos, and narrative campaigns, showcasing different systems that I enjoy, such as Batman, bolt action, drop fleet, heresy, etc. Included in that, combining, if I can, I would like to do fluffy cinematics in those for the videos, including as well to how to play videos, because I want to do that with Batman, how to play Batman, how, you know, like what I was doing at the demo, but in bite-sized pieces. That's for that one. So that's the battlefield pillar. The second pillar is the forge pillar. Some of this you can kind of get a bit of a dwarven vibe from. So there's painting, crafting, and 3D printing. So this is a bit more of the YouTube, but also the Twitch streaming, painting tutorials, hobby tips, and creative kit bashing. How to kit bash and stuff, which then kind of swings somewhat back into Grey Tide as well. Terrain building, because I want to get back into that. I was wanting to do a video of going through, as a video series, of going through the old Citadel terrain book and being like, oh, how to make old school hedges, how to make hills and stuff like that, and just be like, is a slow burner kind of thing, a video a month maybe on it, or, you know, how did we make old school hills back in the day, and then potentially do a whole board at the end of it being all this old school terrain that may be a year down the line,
Time to flip.
with the old hills, the old hedges, the old stone walls, the old buildings, the old trees, all sorts, right? And then that kind of goes into the restoration projects and stuff like that of, you know, me getting old school metal dwarves and stuff back in the day and stripping them, you know, and restoring them. That's kind of part of that. That then leads into the lore pillar, narrative focus. So it's looking back at things such as maybe doing little update videos on narrative things I want to do, such as the Night Household kind of literature that I'm working on. Looking back at the lore and stuff of the Votan league that I'm building up. Maybe then revisiting the Lion's Host Dark Angel chapter I was looking at, and then working that kind of thing into it. Then it's the community pillar, which is an honest, thoughtful discussions about the state of the hobby and the industry. Opinion videos exploring trends, company practices, and hobby culture. Building dialogue with the community instead of just broadcasting. So hopefully getting people coming into the Discord, just chatting and getting the feel from the community as well. Not just me saying this, but getting it both ways. And the fifth one, which would be an interesting one to try and do, which encompasses the whole lot, is charity and support the half. So for events and support the half. So charity projects such as million fundraising milestones and stuff like that. Trying to do more of those to support charities that I do see I want to support. Local demos and potential Cornish-based events. Go into more things. And collaborations with other creators, shops and companies. They're the main pillars. They're the main pillars of what I want to do going forward. However, it did miss off the safe space. I need to make sure it brings that back in. Safe space, mental health kind of one. That'll probably go more into the community pillar. And then it went into the content strategy, which was an interesting one. Branding and style. Part of me wanted to go for a very comic book inspired kind of aesthetic for everything, which is then great for identity, as in it's bold, it's easy to read it, as in visualize it, you can see it and see what it's supposed to be straight off the bat. But then still, you know, when you used to see comics back in the day that were black and white, and now they've done the, what was it, red, black and white books. I think Marvel have done them, I think, long shot. It'd be interesting to see if there would be like a black, white and gold style one, because then black, white and gold is Cornish colours. So it'd be interesting to see if I could do a black, white, red and gold, because I like red for some weird reason. I do enjoy red, but if that isn't feasible, drop off the red, keep the gold, as an example. Because that would help with thumbnails. Red goes faster, yeah. It would help with visualization, 100%. Like you'd see it's nice and snappy, bold colours. You know, it's just from my graphics days. Keep it nice, bold, simple. It's easy to go. Let's return a minute. Don't even know what these gems are for. What are the gems for? So then the platforms and present platform, the YouTube, main home, long form, cinematic content, battle reports, discussions, and lore. So that's your videos. You know, that's your long form stuff. Instagram, behind the scenes, hobby shots, reels, painting showcase. Facebook, community building, longer posts, project updates. Down the future, it'd be Discord, where you show campaigns, hobby challenges, building lore. Twitch, I need to build that back in. Twitch is then where it's behind the scenes hobby shots, but in live, because I'm working on those projects live on Twitch. The schedule would then be 1 to 2 shorts reels a week with one main video a week. Bi-weekly or monthly, most likely monthly, would then be a discussion slash law video of some sort. Events, they are flexible. They're tied to campaigns and stuff. Long-term goals for it is grow 6+ save into a recognizable, safe hobby space. Develop certain laws, certain narrative campaigns that I want to work with. For example, do I want to only work one at a time? Only work one narrative thing at a time. So do I want to work on Alliance host? Do I want to work on XYZ? Which one do I want to work on? I can't work on multiple at the same time because I just won't get anywhere. And it's not good for just my mental health and people following along. Expand into events, so go into more events, demoing, and so on and so forth. Build a self-sustaining loop between YouTube, socials, and MK6 Printing, and create a genuine community space where knowledge, passion, and creativity can thrive. That's what I got so far, and that's, to me, that seems to be a good direction, and that's what I mean. I've been doing verbal diarrhea, explaining what I'd like to do, and that's what it's been able to collate my thoughts. Did I get any mementos? I get tons of these ones. Still need to get these. There is a wish list. Right. But yeah, that's the main thoughts. As I said, I'm planning on, once I've re-added in the Twitch part into the pillars, and no, sorry, not the Twitch part. This is why I like to dictate it down because it helps. Once I've integrated safe space, men's mental health and stuff into it, and integrated Twitch as being one of the platforms, I'm going to look at posting this on YouTube, Facebook, and Discord to get people's input, because I genuinely do like to have people's input on it. You know, as I said, what like law project would people like me to work on, and give some options, because I do think the Dark Angels one is going to be put on the back burner right this minute. It's going to be put back on the back burner because I really don't, regrettably, I don't have any interest in it, because I don't like the state of 10th edition as a rule set for Space Marines and stuff like that. It is what it is. But maybe working on some other projects would revitalize that, as an example. Maybe the lore thing could be then me working on a Batman specific board with models, or it could be me working on my Votan because I could print out more Votan terrain. Because I print out a bunch, but I haven't printed out enough to be a full board. It is a board, but still it's missing a few pieces. So it'd be cool to be like, here's my Leagues of Votan, whatever I'm going to call them, with their own board, which would be quite cool. Or the Night Project, its own Night Household. I can't even remember what I called the Night Household now. What did I actually call it? House Caliburn. You know, as I said, it's all figuring stuff out. But I did ask it for like quick little prompts of artwork to take to people to be like, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Because sometimes you get an idea in your head, but you struggle to put it down. So it did say about a banner, a YouTube banner, which would be quite cool, is 4 silhouettes. I did ask it to do these 4 particular silhouettes. First one is a powered armored marine silhouette, then a male World War II Allied inspired silhouette. Third one is a fancy dwarf warrior wielding a shield and axe. Fourth one is a caped superhero vigilante. And I do like the actual premise of it. As like a banner, because then you could have Mark 6 logo or something in there. Because it's kind of a broad one and it isn't too over the top. But then, you know, as I said, it is an interesting one. It is an interesting one, and it's just trying to make sure everything's consistent, because then I would put the time and effort in to redo my thumbnails to be consistent with that rebranding, or the thumbnails I feel relevant for it, because then it's all singing off the same sheet, which would be an interesting thing to do. But yeah, as I said, I'm very much up for people's input and what they would like to see, because that's the honest, you know, answer to everything. I do think that may be a good place to leave it. I've voiced a load of garbage at the same time. All jokes aside. Yeah, I think that is a good place to leave it. Seems like a good plan, sir. We just need to hammer up the... Yeah, that's what I mean. It's... As I said, I want... I know I need to do a lot of tidying behind the scenes. But just having a solid plan, because then people know what they're coming to the Discord for, YouTube for, Twitch. You know what I mean? It has an identity, it has specialities, so on and so forth. And then I also know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I know what I'm doing. That's a big deal as well, because it's so scatterbrained at this moment in time. I can't say for certain what I'm doing. Because it's an interesting one because I've got so many projects. You know what I mean? So I just need to fine tune it of, do I crack on with the Batman projects, because I do have a lot of bat gangs now, which is cool. I do have some projects for closer to holidays, because I have was it Blood Rain Batman, which is Batman when he turns into a vampire to fight Dracula. So for me, that's a great one to have me painted up over Halloween, for example. And then I have um paramilitary um Lobo, which is very much Christmas themed. There is a Christmas themed Joker that I wouldn't mind getting hold of, just to paint up over those holiday periods. You get what I mean? They're just something funny, something quirky, um, something different. And that's the main thing I want to be able to do, is have it as a safe space, an enjoyable space. People know what they're coming to see. That's the main thing. I'll see if I can just show some of the initial concept, like not concept art, brainstorm art, which was funny because like I was liking the idea of as a brainstorm, yeah, like stuff like this, like comic-y kind of Batman stuff for um, Batman style videos, because I was looking at IP and stuff like that. You're absolutely fine to have it in thumbnails because you are talking about it. I wouldn't be obviously able to sell that kind of stuff, even if it was drawn by an artist, because DC owns the rights to it. But to have it in thumbnails and promotional stuff, not posters, posts, as in Instagram, no, Facebook posts and stuff, it's fine because I'm showing content related to it. That's why when I done the post about this, it was just to draw people's attention to it. But this was just a proof of concept of something that came to my mind. Um, Doing a silhouette of it, um, just to see what it's like. It was a shame. This is obviously one of the downsides with AI. There's only so much it can actually do, which is a good thing. I'm not denying that. But the first time I tried to get it done, it kept it kept the two on this side cropped off, and I kept saying to it, "Could you please move the two on the left-hand side further in?" And it couldn't do it. It just couldn't compute it. So I was able to reword it entirely, and it came out with that. And just as a proof of concept, I do like that. I do like that. It's not too over the top. But as I said, is all just proof of concept and stuff like that, because you can't really rely on it and do text because it went a little bit weird. It went a little bit weird. But yeah, it was trying to do logos, and it was like, okay, like that's the safest one out of them. But yeah, as I said, it was just spitballing ideas. But yeah, it was all good. It's all good. Good laughs, basically. But I do think I am going to hit it there and get ready to potentially, hopefully, see the other half for lunch. Need to find out when she is actually going to go for lunch. But I do need to fine tune a few of the ideas for the revitalization, integrate in the men's mental health and stuff into it, as in like charity and stuff like that, but also have Twitch as one of the platforms for this. And then thank you very much, Jotun. Very much appreciate you coming along. Very, very, very much. But yeah, we are going to raid on. I don't even know if there's anyone to raid into. Let's have a gander. I'll probably pop in and say hi to Esmeralda a minute. Say hi, see how she's doing. Yeah, by all means. Maybe this be probably about 1-2 o'clock, all right? Because the other half will have her lunch. This is what I'm trying to find out. She's the only one in the grooming salon today. Salon, dog grooming, stuff like that. It's either going to be 12 or 1. She has an hour lunch. By the time I get back, it'll be late as about 2 o'clock, all right? But yeah, we may jump into actually Mike Moans. We'll jump in, see how he's doing. We haven't jumped into him for a wee while. But anyway, waffling. Thank you everyone for joining me on this manic 5 minutes. And yeah, hopefully back to some normality. May stream this evening. And what I may actually stream is building some models, because I've got a ton of metal models that need to get built because they're left in lunch boxes and I just need to know what I've got. But anyway, take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and I hope to catch you all in the next one. Ta-ra for now.